What's up and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jason Courier from the Steve and Jay Show. This is our weekly Ring of Honor review and reaction show. If you could please click that subscribe button down below and don't forget to click the notification bell as well to receive notification when we post our new stuff. Today I am going to be reviewing and reacting to Ring of Honor episode number 318, which aired on October the 23rd, 2017. The night started out with a promo for the main event, which was going to be a four-corner survival match between Mark Briscoe, Punishment Martinez, Shane Taylor, and Chuck Taylor. The night started out, they started it off with replaying the promo when those four surrounded the ring, when Kenny King a few weeks ago had addressed the crowd and said how much it meant for him to win the television title right there in his hometown of Vegas. He said then Mark Briscoe, Chuck Taylor, Shane Taylor, Punishment Martinez, and he held up the belt and he said, "My name is Kenny King, and this is my golden throne, and if you want some of this, you're going to have to bend the knee." Pretty cool line, super cool promo. They've kind of overplayed it now, but seeing it the third time, it's still cool-ish. Not as cool as when I saw it the first time. But they were promoting the main event, which again was the four-corner survival match between those four to determine who would be the number one contender for Kenny's title. The first match of the night was between Marty Scurll and Jay White. A couple of my personal favorites. I actually dig the heck out of both these guys. They're both really good wrestlers. Early on in the match, Jay White extends the hand to Marty to do the Code of Honor thing, which Marty literally kicks his hand out, says, "Get it out of here. Get it out of here." The match kind of starts with the two of them exchanging, mostly Marty putting Jay White in a series of various holds. Marty gets him in a single leg takedown, does a drop toe hold takedown, he gets him in a crossface, he does all kinds of stuff to this kid. They mention at one point that with Marty being the veteran and Jay White is a student at the New Japan dojo. So they mention how he has gone head to head with Yusin Thunder Liger in the dojo, and so he knows his fair share of wrestling himself. So it's basically what they were implying. So early on in the match, again, that's kind of how it all started. They kind of went with the way I read it was Marty was trying to make this a technical type match to get it kind of on his side because Jay White had the advantage as far as athleticism and strength kind of thing. Jay White then at one point literally picks up Marty and walks him over to the corner and sits him on top of the turnbuckle. And I believe it was Ian said something about it being a technical match at that point until Jay White literally picked Marty up and he said, "Oh, or you could just do that," kind of thing. Marty, while he was then on the turnbuckle, he did the arm flap thing. Super cool. Love Marty. Marty's awesome. Kind of played to the crowd a little bit. Marty, when he went to get down off the ropes, he even did that kind of cool. He did the "Is it easy?" and then jumped down off of the second rope. The two kind of exchanged moves at that point. Get a little bit of rope work in. There's a big drop kick by Jay White, who's a pretty athletic dude. He can move around in that ring. And he's not a little guy either. He can move around. He's a good wrestler. He's got a lot of potential ahead of him. I could see him developing into somebody that could actually be a real solid superstar. Jay White at that point wraps Marty's legs up and sets him up for a submission move, and he does the arm flap and mocking Marty. He then kind of drops his weight back and gets it into a full Moonal lock on Marty. Marty then manages to find his way to the bottom rope and breaks the hold. There are a couple of big chops at that point by Jay White. There's a pretty fun little sequence of various pin attempts by both sides, both Jay White and Marty. At one point, Marty, the last kind of part of the sequence, Marty tries to roll Jay White up, and he props his legs up on the second rope and tries to use that as leverage, which the referee catches and says, sorry, Marty, not today. You're a veteran, but that ain't going to work in my ring. So Marty kind of was not very happy with the ref at that point and argued that should have been a 3 count. The ref said, hey, look, I saw you put your feet up on the ropes on 2, so it was just a 2 count, not a 3 count. Marty, being the villain that he is, then gets a thumb to the eye on Jay White. The action kind of works its way to the outside. Jay White tries to follow Marty to the outside of the ring, and as he does, Marty grabs the skirt apron and wraps Jay White up in the actual skirt apron, and then he gives him, I think, a kick or two, and Jay White's hand is on the apron, and Marty does the double foot stomp onto his hand. I believe they cut to commercial at that point. Marty being the villain. It's good stuff, man. He's a good wrestler. He tells a good story in there. Good stuff. The action then gets back into the ring. Marty grabs Jay White and kind of gets him in almost like a inverted fireman's carry, and then just kind of drops back almost like a Samoa drop, but with Jay White turned the other way, which was pretty cool. It's a neat little move. I believe Colt Cabana gave it a name, but I didn't catch what it was. Or maybe he didn't. I take that back. He didn't give it a name. Nobody knew what the hell he did. It was a cool move by Marty. There was a pin attempt then by Marty on Jay White. Jay White kicked out at 2. The two then at that point kind of traded chops. Marty then kind of makes his way towards working the elbow a little bit. He's trying to set himself up for the chicken wing. Marty then is in the opposite corner, has Jay White in the other corner, and tries to go for the splash, which Jay White then reverses and gives him the old back elbow. There is a suplex then by Jay White. He rolls that one into another one. He then rolls that suplex into a third rolled over suplex attempt. This time he's he pulls Marty over towards the turnbuckle, and he's going to suplex him into the turnbuckle. Marty, though, reverses it. There's kind of a little bit of a series of reversals. Then at that point, Marty reverses it. Jay White reverses it. Marty, everybody's trying to reverse everything. Jay White then finally lands the suplex on Marty, gets him in, throws him into the turnbuckle. There is a pin attempt then by Jay on Marty. Marty kicks out at 2. The two kind of exchange offense at that point. There is a German suplex by Jay White into a pin attempt, which Marty kicks out at 2. There then is a brainbuster suplex, super cool suplex by Marty on Jay White. Marty then went full-on wrestler and threw Jay White into the ropes and caught him in a crucifix, and which Marty then transitioned the crucifix into a octopus. And as he's in the air, he's stretching the heck out of Jay White. Colt Cabana mentioned that if he could get his leg down on the ground, then it was going to be over. And there was a couple of times in which the broadcast crew mentioned if Marty could ... then he would. So this was the first of the if Marty could, then he would. So he had the octopus locked in. Did Marty at that point transitioned the octopus into kind of a chicken wing. It looked like he had a little bit of trouble locking it in on Jay White, but he ended up locking it in. As he was holding him in the chicken wing, again, Colt Cabana saying if he goes down to the ground, Marty's got this, it's over. Jay White managed to keep his feet, though, and at that point, Marty went for the hand. He was going to do the finger breaker thing that he does, and the crowd, he grabs his hand, and the crowd goes shush. But, however, Jay White manages to reverse that and gives Marty I believe it was just a forearm shot. There is then a roll-up pin attempt by Jay White, which Marty kicks out of, I believe. Marty then kind of does some more evil tactics, and he is in the corner, and Jay White is trying to pull him out of the corner, and I'm assuming roll him up for a pin attempt. He's got him by the waist, and Marty has a hold of, first he has a hold of the ropes, and then Marty has a hold of the tag rope. And the ref's telling Marty, you can't hold on to that, you got to let it go kind of thing. And finally, the ref actually physically kicks Marty's hand off of the tag rope. Marty lets go, falls backwards. Jay White rolls him up for a pin attempt. Marty then, though, kicks at 2. Marty, again, a little bit more dirty tactics from old Marty. He ends up in his corner where his umbrella is laying in the corner. He grabs the umbrella, throws it at Jay White when the ref isn't looking. Jay White has the umbrella in hand. Ref turns around. Jay looks at the referee and kind of does I didn't mean to grab this. I didn't grab this. He threw it at me kind of thing. He hands the umbrella to the ref as the ref takes the umbrella and walks it over into the neutral corner. Marty takes advantage. Marty, being the villain, takes advantage and gives a low blow to Jay White with the ref not looking. Ref turns around then. Marty rolls up Jay White and ding, ding, ding. Marty Scurll wins the match over Jay White with the low blow into the roll-up pin attempt. Or roll-up pin, not an attempt. It was a pin. So, ding, ding, ding. Marty wins. Bullet Club wins. The Addiction then cut a promo that was pretty much just an anti-Jay Lethal and Kushida promo. I don't know. The Addiction, I really like them in ring, but sometimes their promos can get a little, I don't know, a little too classic heel promo-y. I don't know how to explain it. Jay Lethal then cut a promo of his own. He's wearing a Ring of Honor shirt and says he's wearing this Ring of Honor shirt with pride, and how the Addiction would rather spit on it than wear it, and with pride. And he is tired of the Addiction disrespecting his company, and he is going to do something about it now, and he's going to defend Ring of Honor's honor to the Addiction. So that's the angle they're cutting on that one. I like that angle. I see what they're doing. I like it. It's good. It should be a fun little program that they run. I've got high hopes. The next match of the evening was a tag team match, not a tag title match. It was a tag team match between the Dawgs, Will Ferrara and Rhett Titus, and the Tempura Boyz, Show and Yo. As the match is starting, they introduce Rhett Titus and Will Ferrara, and then it is time for the Tempura Boyz to be introduced. As Show and Yo are walking down the ramp, they rush into the ring, and boom, 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 match is on. No code of honor going on here. We're getting after it. There is a double back suplex by Rhett Titus and Will Ferrara. They then turn to the crowd, and they're holding out the arms, and Will lets out a "oh hell yeah," and I think Rhett tries to join him. I don't know if they tried to do it at the same time and just missed it, but they yell out the big "oh hell yeah." Their back, though, is to the action and the Tempura Boyz, and at that point, the Tempura Boyz then rush the backs of the Dawgs and grab them and give them the old double German suplex. Will Ferrara then is left alone in the ring. He's catching chest slaps from both Show and Yo, something that he would actually sell a few times in the match, which was good work by Will Ferrara. He kind of clinched the chest a few times, like, oh my God, that really hurt. Show and Will Ferrara end up basically the legal men in the ring. They, after the dust kind of settled, those were the two that were left in the ring. So I think everybody just went with, those guys are the legal guys. So Will Ferrara and Show start it out. There is a jawbreaker then by Will Ferrara. Show tries to go for a German suplex on Will Ferrara. From Will is on the inside of the ring, and Show was on the apron, and he was trying to give him the German suplex from the ring to the outside of the ring. Of course, that's not going to happen, but Rhett Titus blocked it and by grabbing the feet of Show, and he pulled him outside of the ring. There was then a tornado DDT, one of my personal favorites. There's a tornado DDT from the apron on Show by Will Ferrara. Show was then, of course, outside the ring. Yo then comes to the aid of his tag team partner, and he's chasing Will Ferrara around the ring, and Rhett Titus comes out of nowhere and absolutely obliterates Yo with a huge clothesline, turned him inside and out. Show and Will Ferrara end up back in the ring. It's a wrong corner situation for Show. He gets stuck on the wrong part of the ring. There's a tag to Titus. There is a big dog drop kick at that point by Rhett Titus. And they cut to break as that happened. As they came back from the break, Will Ferrara now is in ring, still with Show, still throwing Show around like a rag doll. There is a pretty quick tag to Titus. Titus and Will Ferrara then give Show a double suplex. Rhett and Will Ferrara then had kind of a moment where it looked like they were going to fight. Will Ferrara put his arms in the air, and I believe he said something about being the big dogs, and I want to say that Rhett Titus cup checked him and said, "Hey, I'm the big dog," and then the two kind of had a little pushy shovey kind of thing going on, but it was all for show, and to get show, it was all for show, and Rhett pushed Will Ferrara down, then grabbed his legs and gave him the monkey flip into the frog splash, which they call the dog splash, on show. So Rhett basically threw Will Ferrara on top of show. At that point, then Will Ferrara tries to cover show, which is then broken up by Yo. There is a knee by show to the midsection of Rhett Titus. That kind of shakes him loose for the hot tag to Yo. Yo comes in, kind of cleans house a little bit. There is a pin attempt then by Yo, and he kind of rolls that into a submission on Will Ferrara, which Rhett Titus comes in then and breaks up. Show then, it's his turn to clear the ring. He clears out Rhett Titus. Will Ferrara tries to fight off both Show and Yo at that point. Yo caught Will Ferrara with a super kick, which was transitioned into a powerbomb by Show, in which, as he powerbombs him, though, he kind of pauses at the top, and it was really cool. He pauses at the top, and he goes for the power slam, but as he slams down, he pulls his knees up, does Show, onto the back of Will Ferrara, so it was kind of like a suplex into a backbreaker kind of thing. It was super, 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 super cool. Super cool. I thought it was over at that point. I thought that was it. There's then a pin attempt, which Rhett Titus breaks up. The Tempura boys now turn their attention and double up on Rhett Titus. Rhett gives both Show and Yo a double clothesline at that point. He literally grabs Will Ferrara, who's out, and drags Will Ferrara then at that point over to their corner so that he can tag himself in, basically, with the limp Will Ferrara. Rhett Titus then gets Yo up on his shoulder, and he's yelling at Will Ferrara, "Hey, get up, hey, get up." As Ferrara stands up and goes on the attack, Show comes out of nowhere and gives a big spear to Will Ferrara. Rhett Titus just kind of lets Yo, I don't know if he let him, but he loses grip on Yo, and he slides down Rhett Titus's back. Yo then gets an inside cradle attempt, but there's a kick out by Titus. There then is a really cool Matrix duck out of the way by Show, as Rhett is giving him a little offense now. There is an insecurity by Yo and a backbreaker then by Show. Yo with the pin attempt, but a kick out by Rhett Titus. Show then at that point grabs Rhett Titus and sets him up for, I'm assuming it was a pile driver. Yo went to the top rope I'm thinking that they were going for the spike pile driver. That's kind of what I'm thinking that they were setting up for. Yo goes up to the top rope. Will Ferrara, though, manages to stop Yo from jumping from the top rope as Rhett Titus flips Show over. He takes him then and flips him up over the top rope and out of the ring. Yo is knocked off of the top rope by Will Ferrara when Will went over there to to stop him from delivering the spike piledriver. Yo then tries to attack Will Ferrara in the corner, but Will moves out of the way, and now Yo is kind of stuck in the corner himself. Rhett Titus then delivers a big boot to Yo in the corner. Ferrara rushes into the ring. He grabs Yo, wraps his arm up, spins him around, gives him the big clothesline. I know that's his move. I can't think of the name of it. I don't know the name of it. Ian blew right past it, and I didn't catch it, but I know that's his thing. Ferrara then goes to the second rope as Rhett Titus backs Yo kind of into the corner, and he picks him up for the suplex, but kind of pauses at the top of the suplex, and Will Ferrara jumps off the second rope and jumps towards Yo, who's up in the suplex position, as Rhett Titus then moves him forward and slams him forward. Will Ferrara flies in and gives Yo the big slam, and then goes for the pin attempt and gets the pinfall. Ding, ding, ding. Rhett Titus and Will Ferrara, a.k.a. the Dawgs, pick up the win. Good stuff. Good match. Fun match. I'm a tag team match kind of guy, so it's not that tough for me to get into a tag team match. So this was a good one. Will Ferrara is a fun wrestler to watch. Rhett Titus is a veteran, and he's a good wrestler. Show and Yo are an up-and-coming New Japan team, and they're super fun to watch too. So this was a good match. I like this match. It's good stuff. Ring of Honor. This was a good week of Ring of Honor. Last week was kind of a little bit of a downer for me, but this week they really made up for it. I was really into this week. The Bullet Club then cut a promo, which was a comedic type promotion. It's a backstage thing. Nick turns to Cody and says, "Hey, Cody," or I'm sorry, Matt turned to Cody first and had asked Cody, "Hey, is it true that you just bought a Mercedes?" And I think Hangman Page says, "Oh, this is a new suit." And Nick says at that point, then Nick says, "Hey, you know what, Cody? Make it now or spend it now and make more later." And that's what it was. Spend now, make more later, right? And Cody says, "Well, you know, the deal, it was really big." And Hangman Page turns to him and says, "Well, Cody, how big was it?" And he looks down, and then Marty starts laughing, the evil Marty laugh, and then I believe Matt started laughing, and then Nick started laughing, and then Hangman Page had the super evil, and then Cody started laughing in there somewhere, and then Hangman Page at the end had the super cheesy evil laugh thing going on, and they cut to break. They came back from break, and all 5 members are standing there, and they're all hysterically laughing, and they're doing the "oh my God, you got to be kidding me, that was so funny" thing, and blah. It was a funny promotion. It was good-ish. Colt Cabana then, as they are introducing the main event, Colt said something to the effect of, "That was really funny. I know comedy, and that was funny." And anyway, it was funny-ish, I suppose. I guess Hangman Page, his whole get-up is he's hung like a horse, is the only thing that I can gain from that. Which, cool gimmick, bro. Anyway. The main event of the evening then was up. It is main event time, and it is the 4-corner survival match. They never really explained the rules of this match, but from what I gathered, I'm assuming that it was Lucha rule tag team match, because guys would roll out of the ring, and then there'd be other guys in the ring, and sometimes they would tag, and they never really explained the rules, but it was a fun match. Who gives a shit what the rules were? It was fun. I didn't mean to say that, but it was fun anyway. So, the four-corner match was between Chuck Taylor, the Kentucky Gentleman, Shane Taylor, no relation, Punishment Martinez, and Mark Briscoe. And again, the winner would be the new number one contender for Kenny King's television championship. Which, if Kenny's going to be such the fighting champion, I don't really think it matters who's number one or who's number 2, 3, or 4. He's going to fight you eventually, right? That would be the theory. Caprice Coleman was a guest announcer on this one with Colt Cabana and Ian Riccaboni. He said that Coleman's pulpit next week was going to be featuring, I believe he said, Kenny King, unless it was the winner of this match. But I think it was Kenny King. I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't want to write that down or anything, would I? The match actually started with Chuck Taylor offering handshakes to everyone, which only Mark Briscoe accepted. Punishment Martinez and Shane Taylor didn't want anything to do with any kind of handshake. The match itself started out with Chucky T and Punishment Martinez in the ring. Chuck Taylor gives Punishment Martinez a good chop, and which Punishment Martinez didn't really even flinch. He completely no-sold it. And at that point, Chucky T just kind of gives it the nope, not doing this. He turns around, tags in Mark Briscoe, and he's kind of doing the whole thing to the crowd of nope, nope, not today, which is pretty fun. Mark Briscoe ain't scared of nobody, so he gets in there and he is going toe-to-toe with Punishment Martinez. There's a couple shots by Mark on Punishment, which doesn't really do a whole hell of a lot. There is a huge wind-up clothesline by Punishment Martinez that literally flips Mark Briscoe upside down. Martinez then pulls his hand back and he's going to give Mark Briscoe another good hard shot, but Chucky T sneaks in a tag and tags himself in and kind of gives Punishment Martinez the now get your big ass out of the ring thing. So now it is Mark Briscoe and Chuck Taylor in the ring. Or, I'm sorry, should have been Mark Briscoe and Chuck Taylor, but Mark Briscoe rolled out of the ring, and this is where I say that I think that it must have been some sort of a lucha tag rule, because Mark Briscoe rolled out of the ring and Shane Taylor decided that he was going to step into the ring. Shane Taylor then turns his attention to Chucky T and gives Chuck a big slam. I believe Colt Cabana said something about you can't do that to your brother in reference to Chuck Taylor and Shane Taylor possibly being related. They're not related. No relation. Just for those of you who don't know, they're not related at all. But Colt Cabana says, hey, you can't do that to your brother. Chuck Taylor then, after the slam, he then rolled out of the ring, and Shane Taylor then Punishment Martinez comes in with Shane Taylor now. So it is the first of, I believe they did this 3 times, the first toe-to-toe moment between Shane Taylor and Punishment Martinez. So the big guys are toe-to-toe right now. Ian Riccaboni and Colt Cabana at that point are kind of playing up the whole, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, this is the moment. This is the one I want to see. I want to see these two go at it. Chuck Taylor comes out of nowhere, though, and from the top rope gives both Shane Taylor and Punishment Martinez a double drop kick. Shane Taylor and Punishment Martinez then both roll outside of the ring. Mark Briscoe now is inside the ring with Chucky T. There's a pretty funny moment. I really dig Chuck Taylor and what he does in ring. He's really, really entertaining to watch. He tells Mark Briscoe, and you can hear him say, "Hey, I'm going to jump on that guy. You jump on that guy." and Shane Taylor and Punishment Martinez are on the outside of the ring now. He yells at Chuck Taylor yells at Mark, "I'm going to jump on that guy. You jump on that guy." Chuck Taylor then gives a suicide dive, I believe, to Punishment Martinez, and Mark Briscoe climbs to the top turnbuckle and I believe gives a moonsault or a flip to, I believe it's just a flip to Shane Taylor on the outside of the ring. As they cut to break, they show Mark Briscoe and Shane Taylor then in the ring. Two of them look like they're going to go at it. They go to break. They come back from break, and Chuck Taylor and Mark Briscoe are indeed exchanging offense inside the ring. Punishment Martinez then reaches into the ring from the outside and grabs Chuck Taylor and pulls him to the outside of the ring. He picks him up and just drop slams his face onto the apron. Shane Taylor, in the meantime, is now in the ring, and he is completely manhandling Mark Briscoe. Punishment Martinez then jumps up onto the apron, like does the box jump onto the apron. And here we go again. It is toe-to-toe time with Punishment Martinez and Shane Taylor. As the two are standing toe-to-toe, though, Mark Briscoe tries to attack Punishment Martinez, who just kind of punches him away. Chucky T then tries to attack Shane Taylor. As Chucky T is coming at Shane Taylor, though, Shane Taylor gives him a big, I believe it was a left-hand shot even, the knockout shot to Chucky T. So again, here we are. We're standing toe-to-toe, and it is Punishment Martinez and Shane Taylor. They tease that one more time. But Mark Briscoe and Chucky T come in and break it up again. Chuck Taylor and Punishment Martinez then basically beat Mark Briscoe and Chucky T into their corners, into a corner, into a corner. Punishment Martinez then Irish whips Mark Briscoe into the corner where Shane Taylor is. Mark Briscoe then gives a single leg drop to Shane Taylor. So it was almost like a running leg drop kind of thing, but it was an Irish whip by Punishment Martinez into Shane Taylor. Punishment Martinez then gets Mark Briscoe into the corner and kind of beats on him for a little bit and gives him a suplex, which it wasn't really a suplex. It was like a throwing suplex where he literally threw Mark all halfway across the ring. It was pretty impressive. Chucky T then attempts to attack Punishment Martinez from behind, which Punishment made him pay for, and does the box the ears thing. And Punishment Martinez then, after boxing the ears, he sent Chucky T into the corner. He went for the splash, I'm assuming, which Chucky T moved out of the way of. Mark Briscoe then charges in, but Chucky T suplexes Briscoe into the corner and into Punishment Martinez. Shane Taylor then charges in, and Chucky T tries to fight him off. There is a second rope splash on Chuck Taylor, then by Shane Taylor. He had Chuck Taylor up on the second ropes with his back to the mat, and he's holding onto the top rope. His legs are stuck on the second rope, and Shane Taylor flies in from the turnbuckle and gives the big splash to Chuck Taylor. There is a pin attempt then by Shane Taylor on Chuck Taylor, which I'm kind of surprised that they had the kick out here, because that's Shane Taylor's one of his prime moves right there, and he's a bad dude, and Chuck Taylor just kicked out of it. So good stuff. Good match. Good stuff. Mark Briscoe then jumps on Shane Taylor. Punishment Martinez then comes in on Mark Briscoe. There is kind of a funny moment where Mark takes a shot from Punishment Martinez, and as he's falling backwards and stumbling and not feeling so great, he's still got the hands up and he's still trying to fight, and all the way down. Good stuff. Mark Briscoe's a good wrestler. He's fun entertainment. Good stuff. The ring then clears once again, and it is Shane Taylor head-to-head with Punishment Martinez. This time, though, the two actually get to fight a little bit, and I think at one point, Colt says, well, quit standing there, just run at each other, and which they did, and they gave each other the double clothesline. Both men go down. The big moment finally happens, and it's a double clothesline. The two flop down on the mat. Both of them are laying on their backs. Punishment Martinez, I believe at some point, Ian Riccaboni said, well, pretty much the first man to his feet is going to have the advantage in this match, which Punishment Martinez was the first to his feet. He went for a splash on Shane Taylor, but he rolled out of the way. Shane Taylor then goes for a splash on Punishment Martinez, in which Punishment Martinez rolls out of the way. They then go to the break. They come back from the break, and Shane Taylor and Punishment Martinez then get into exchanging forearms. Mark Briscoe then rushes into the ring and gets a clothesline on Punishment Martinez. There is a setup for the Fisherman Buster then by Mark Briscoe on Punishment Martinez, and I believe it was Colt said, there's no way he's going to land this, which he was wrong. Mark Briscoe did land the Fisherman Buster on Punishment Martinez. There is a pin attempt then by Mark Briscoe, which was broken up by Chuck Taylor. Chucky T then lands the Soul Food on Mark Briscoe. He gives out a war cry, I believe, at that time before going against the ropes and attempting some offense. Mark reverses things and gives a little offense of his own to Chuck Taylor, which is then reversed by Chuck Taylor, and Chuck Taylor goes for a powerbomb into a pin attempt on Mark Briscoe, which is kicked out by Mark Briscoe because he's a tough guy like that. Shane Taylor then rushes into the ring, and there is a running enziguri by Chuck Taylor on Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor then delivers a couple of clubbing forearms to the back of the head of Chuck Taylor. There is a pin attempt kicked out by Taylor at that point. Punishment Martinez then at that point attacks Shane Taylor. There's a couple of shots in there. Mark Briscoe then charges in because he's crazy like that. He points to his chin and he's rushing. I believe it was Shane Taylor. He's rushing in on Shane and he's pointing at his chin, yelling, "Hit me, hit me, hit me." As Shane delivers the shot, Mark ducks down, ducks underneath the shot, grabs Shane Taylor in a belly-to-belly, and somehow, someway, Mark Briscoe gave Shane Taylor a big belly-to-belly, which Shane's a big dude. And Mark Briscoe isn't the biggest dude, but he's not the smallest dude, obviously. But he's not the biggest dude, and he gave a belly-to-belly to Shane Taylor, who is a big dude. Super impressive. Super impressive. I thought it was way cool. There is then a standing sliced bread by Chuck Taylor on Mark Briscoe. There's a little bit of craziness going on in the ring. The ring clears, and Punishment Martinez is the only man left in the ring. Outside of the ring, Mark Briscoe, Chuck Taylor, Shane Taylor are all kind of grouped up together. I believe Mark Briscoe had Chuck Taylor in a headlock, and he was giving him a couple of headshots, and the group of the three kind of ended up bunched up together a little bit. Punishment Martinez, again, is the only man in the ring still, and he did a really cool springboard suicide dive thing where he sprung off the bottom rope or the second rope and flipped up over the top rope onto the outside of the ring. It was really, really cool, especially for a big dude to be doing that. Super cool stuff. Punishment Martinez then grabbed Chucky T and threw him into the ring. As he throws Chuck Taylor in the ring, he climbed up to the top rope, and I'm assuming he was going to give Chuck Taylor a splash or something from up there. Shane Taylor, though, intercepts, and he delivers the big knockout blow to Punishment Martinez, who sold it awesomely. He kind of just drooped over and draped himself over the turnbuckle and was literally laying over the corner turnbuckle, knocked out. Shane then, when he hit Punishment Martinez, he was actually on the ring apron and not in the ring itself. As he is trying to enter the ring, Chucky T grabs him, and he kind of pulls him in and delivers what looked like it was attempted to be a pile driver, I'm guessing. And he kind of pulls Chuck Taylor from the apron through the ropes into the ring and delivers this pile driver, which didn't look like it quite worked out the way they had intended, but it was still cool stuff. Colt Cabana called it dirty, I believe, by Chucky T. Mark Briscoe then gets Chucky T up into a fireman's carry and kind of does a rollover type slam on Chuck Taylor. Chuck's laid out. Mark makes his way to the corner where Punishment Martinez is still laid out, still draped over the turnbuckle. He climbs the ropes, climbs on top of Punishment Martinez, and flies off of Punishment Martinez and delivers the froggy bow to Chucky T. Goes for the pinfall win. Ding, ding, ding. Mark Briscoe is the winner and your new number one contender for the television title. So, bit of a surprise. I didn't think that Mark Briscoe was going to win it. That was super, super, super cool. I dig the heck out of Mark, so good stuff. After the match, they showed Jay Briscoe coming down to ringside to have a bit of a word with his brother. And Jay held out the Briscoe shirt and said, "Hey, what about this? You know, you're part of a tag team here. What's up with this single stuff? What are you doing?" That kind of thing. It wasn't like he had the microphone kind of thing. It was just what was picked up by the camera. So Jay Briscoe apparently isn't too happy that Mark Briscoe's out there doing his own thing and winning matches and is now the new number one contender for Kenny King's television title. I would imagine we're going to see a little bit of a maybe Jay Briscoe getting involved in that match. I got a bad feeling. So I got a feeling they're brewing something between the two brothers here. No. Anyway, I guess if it worked for the Hardys, it can work for the Briscoes, right? Maybe that's what they're hoping for. I don't know. Brothers shouldn't fight. Anyway, so that was the Ring of Honor episode number 318. Again, this was a fun one for me. I actually liked this week a whole lot better than I liked last week. Not that last week was bad. Last week was good. It just was a bit of a buzzkill for me. I'm a Bully Ray kind of guy. So anyway, this week was a lot more fun. More matches this week than promos. It was just good stuff. I really liked this week. And I'm looking forward to next week already. So that's some Ring of Honor for you. When you really like this show and you can't wait for next week, that's when you know you're watching Ring of Honor. Anyway, that's my opinion. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. If you could please click that subscription button down below, and don't forget to click that bell to receive notification when we post our new stuff. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Jay Show. You can search for us on Facebook. Just type in Steve and Jay Show. We pop up. You can send us an email, thesteveandjayshow@gmail.com. And you can visit us on our website if it was actually working. You could, if it was working, at steveandjayshow.com, but it doesn't work, so don't go there. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Again, please click subscribe down below, and don't forget to click the bell. Really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me blab about my wrestling. Love you guys. Thanks. Good night.